Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Janderra. I'm Garrowen. Welcome to our weekly catch-up and chat. And it's been an interesting week, and we've got some new Shed Wars stuff coming. I should have put Shed Wars in the title, but I didn't. I wonder if I can change that now. Yes. Sorry. Now I'm going to go through some of what I've been up to this week, just while we're waiting for people to come into the stream. So these were last week's chats. I had my live Sunday night live prayer and our weekly catch up and Shed Wars chat. Oh, I've got to put the SH in there. I want to put the SH. Need the SH for the Southern Hemisphere. Sorry, I'm mucking around with things here in the background. So I did do a slightly unusual video for me. I did a bit of a look at the TGA database of adverse events for certain vaccines. Well, not just certain vaccines, for all vaccines. So this is not one of my normal style videos, but I had somebody say that there were not that many things happening. So I wanted to actually show them where I'd gotten my information from. So that's why I did that. I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to look at doing more commentary type videos like that in future. I really prefer to stick to the self-sufficiency stuff and things that are going to help us to prepare for disasters. So yes, anyway, so I did a broody chicken update and put some eggs in the incubator. So that was certainly interesting. I did try putting eggs in under the hen and it failed. So yes, I ended up putting all of the eggs into the incubator. Also checked in on my mealworms. They're definitely making progress. Although one thing I have noticed, they keep escaping the little container. So we keep finding grubs and pupas and little beetles all around the area. So the boys find it very exciting to catch a grub or a beetle or something and pop it back into the container. Now, after doing this video, I actually cleaned out the entire substrate and put in fresh stuff again. As to why I didn't video that, I don't know. Hi, Wild. Thanks for joining me. So yes, and the other big thing is I got my compression socks from Kathy from Little Garden Big Dream. Kathy was in Shed Wars 21, and that's how I got to know her and her channel. She's got a fantastic channel. Go check her out. But really grateful to her for sending me these compression socks. They have been really, really helpful, especially while we were doing the container house. Although I should have been wearing my joggers as well, and I wasn't, and I think I twisted my ankle. So, yeah. And then we had an exploded egg in the incubator. That was really disgusting, and I had to clean it up, so I had to share it with you guys. And then the craziest thing happened. We've getting a fair bit actually, where willy wagtails are attacking a crow. So yeah, so I managed to catch a bit of it on video. Not a great deal, but did get some of it. Mealworms are really interesting, and Monkey Chick loves them. Your little chick is so cute. I would imagine they really do love the mealworms, actually. That's half the reason why I'm raising them, is so that I can actually feed them to my chickens. And part of this video I actually show feeding my adult chickens some of the black soldier fly larvae. Yeah, really, really fantastic way to supplement their feed. So yeah, then I had a video that took me a couple of weeks to actually produce, because it took us a while to actually prepare for our new temporary accommodation. So this, I go through what we actually did, and you get to see the container house actually being delivered. And this one, you get to watch us putting up part of it and going through some of the problems that I've noticed with it so far. Now, in the video, I was quite sore, I was quite tired, and it might seem like I'm really upset with the actual container house, and I'm actually not. I'm really quite pleased with it. Considering how much a house costs to build, it's an affordable option, and it's going to give us considerably more space than we have in caravan whilst we wait for all of the roof saga, mold saga, concrete saga issues to resolve. We had what did we have? We had the hygienist come out this week. So they've done air samples throughout the whole house. They've taken samples of mold that's around the place, as well inside and outside. And they're going to test that to see what it is, like what kind of mold it is, whether it's a safe mold or a dangerous mold, whether it's one that is covered under my insurance or not. Please let it be one that's covered under my insurance. Please, 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 please. So yes, if it's not, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. But not as much trouble now as because we do actually have this expandable container house. So that is just creating some options for us. It's actually one that my mum's bought, and we're going to be renting it off her. So yes. So no, we didn't buy the container house. It's actually my mum's. So we're renting it off mum. And she'll probably end up using it as her granny flat when our house is actually all sorted out. Yeah, it can be definitely improved upon, and I think it's going to work very, very well for us as interim accommodation. Potentially it could work long term. I'd prefer to have my house sorted, but if for some reason there's some massive disaster with it, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I really don't know what's happening with it at the moment, but I'm trusting that it's going to get itself all sorted out. Didn't understand the renting and buying. Yeah, we didn't actually have the money to buy it, especially after getting the roof replaced. Because getting the roof replaced was like $18,500, and that took the last of the extra money that we had set aside when we bought the house. Because when we bought the house, we knew it needed some repair work, so we borrowed a little bit extra so that we could get that repair work, plus get the solar system and get a few other things done. The roof has taken so much out of that. It's not funny. And with Gavin not working for as long as he did last year, and I think it was about 18 months that he wasn't working properly for, at least 12, I think. I'm not sure. But he's only been working at the new place for about a month and a half now, I think it is. And it is a permanent full-time job, which is fantastic. Although it is very, very long hours that he's working, and it's very full on. Yeah, mum's helping works really well. And I would prefer she was getting the benefit from us renting a temporary accommodation than some complete stranger. Because the insurance company was paying $800-900 a week for one caravan. So when we had the 2 caravans here, that was costing them a lot of money. I think they've paid out over $15,000 in temporary accommodation for us so far over the last 3 months. So I'd much prefer it with helping out somebody that I know. And yeah, anyway, should work well. Hi, Annette from Apple Tree Urban Homestead. How is everything going over in Perth? Lovely to see you. Oh, you've had a crappy 2 weeks. Hubby broke his left wrist and I'm able to do anything. That's nasty. It's due to have surgery soon. So you're a chauffeur, nurse, as well as cook. Oh, that's going to leave the garden looking a bit sad and sorry. I thought you're going to be desperately wanting to get into the garden so you can have a bit of a break. Wow, Annette, that's full on. That's full on. I will keep you in prayer this week because that's going to be really hard. Actually, that just reminds me, we forgot to pray for people, the unspoken prayers. Nuts. Anyway. Yes. So that's our week so far. It's been a bit of a full couple of days. We didn't get the expandable container house fully set up yet. let's see if I can show you the spot where I nearly broke my wrist. So, I mean, this looks like it's me doing it, but it's hubby's on this other side and he's doing this one. And the way he set this up is that I really didn't have that much weight at all, but it does look rather impressive, doesn't it? This was the easy part. I was really worried about here, but hubby is so clever. He managed to get it all set up and everything. So I was really pleased with it. I'm not real impressed with the roof. And it's crooked. It's actually not square. Oh, beautiful. I am so sorry to hear that. It's really hard. You've had a really horrible couple of weeks. That's nuts. See, so this actually isn't square, and it was stuck, and Gavin had to ram it in on things. And a little bit further along, we were going to use the car, but it worked out that we didn't have to do that, which was good. You see, when we did this side, it looked like hubby did it all. I was on the other side doing it. So we basically did the same thing again. So he's just set it up so he's used straps to tie down straps for the car. So getting that part down this is where we had a lot of problems. So this is my friend Lisa and I, we was jumping on star pickets to actually try and leverage this out because this side was just completely and utterly stuck. So we were being heavy objects to get it unstuck. I just got my little phrase in the wrong spot. But then while we're lifting this up, I don't know if you can tell, but the wall is actually stuck to the roof. And because of the way the animation works, because of the way the animation instructions that we got showed it, it actually looked like this was actually hinged on here and that we were supposed to lift it up and the wall would just fall into place. But instead, I'm going to slow this down so you can see what actually happened. See if that'll do it. So we're lifting this up because I sped this up a little bit too much, so it makes it really, really hard. Now I've taken it back too far. It's really hard to get that into the position I want it. See if I can get it this time. This is what happens when you speed the video up too much, but I didn't want you guys to have to. It was really, really heavy, like really, really heavy. And we know why now, because it was the roof and the wall. Well, we knew it was the roof and the wall, but we didn't know that it wasn't supposed to be the roof and the wall. And this is hubby telling me what I'm supposed to do. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really heavy. So in the animation made it look like you kind of lift it out and then it comes like that. That's what the animation looked like that we saw. But that's not what happened. So you can see here where the wall is starting to. So I don't know why it was stuck like it was, but it was really, really. So you can see here how it's starting to come apart there, and Lisa's lifting it up there, and Gavin's there. We're really lucky Gavin didn't lose a foot. And I didn't break up. My wrist got really badly twisted in this process. So you can see here, even at this point, we thought it was still doing the right thing because it appeared to actually be joined here. And so this is why no one really seemed all that concerned when it was doing this. And then all of a sudden, Gavin nearly got his foot squashed. I got my hand squashed. And we're very, 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 very lucky that we didn't smash the windows. So we kind of, had a bit of a, oh my goodness, what do we do now for a while. Glad you got the second part. That looks heavy. Yeah. And I understand I had the issues putting up my arms over my head. It was just so shocking. I'll speed this back up again because you don't want to see it in slow-mo. It's the whole reason I sped it up in the first place anyway. So yeah, so we propped it up with star pickets and all that sort of thing. Hi Claire, welcome. Hope you've had a good week. So yes, our expandable container house is here, and we have certainly made progress with it. And doing the second side was a lot easier. And when we got the second side up, we discovered that the wall for the first side was in there. So you really should do the other side first, not the side that we did first. But we had no instructions really. The instructions we had were really, really minimal. And it was just an animation. And yeah, I'm amazed that we got it up. It's all good. Glad you could join us, Claire. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. It's always lovely to have you here, Dawn. Hope things are going well in rural Cyprus. See, this was a real challenge. And as much as I'm certain that we're going to get this sorted out really well, it's going to take a long time. And this took hours, absolutely hours. I know it doesn't look all that complicated, but I'm just trying to get this back up on here. It would have been a lot easier with lots of people, or at least 2 strong men instead of 1 strong man and 1, I don't know what I'm doing, woman. Really, I had no clue what I was doing. And I've still got my whiplash thing happening and all that sort of stuff. Matthew was a little bit of a help. I think at this point Lisa had to go because she was only able to help us for a little while, but it was a really big job. And I wasn't in the best frame of mind after doing it when I did the second part of this video. So it is a pretty long one. So even at hyperlapse, this was like 19 minutes. So I compressed it down significantly. So a lot of times I just had to stand there holding the wall, which was quite hard on the arms. Unfortunately wasn't able to video this doing the second side, which we were able to do that a lot quicker. So I'll skip through here a little bit. So here I go through. I do like these windows. These windows are kind of cool. Yeah, I go through and give an overview of it. So this is what the back of the house looks like. That's the bathroom area. That's the bedroom side. That's the kitchen and lounge room side. I honestly, unless you've got a tradesman around the place, I probably wouldn't recommend doing it. It's yeah, done my head in a little bit. Gavin's having to use a lot of his creativity to get the thing to work. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that we've been given the wrong picture for. And half the pieces are missing. So, but we did discover that we should have done this side first because the wall for in between the 2 bedrooms was in that side. So we should have done that side first, but the kitchen cabinet was in the, it was just, the whole thing was awkward. And the hardest part of it was it's not square. So things are getting stuck and jammed and it's just a pain. Holding things is a pain too. Yeah, my neck is actually really, really sore just from holding my arms up at that height for so long. It really did not do any favors to anything. And Gavin and I have both got whiplash. So I had a car accident 12 months ago, which I'm still recovering from with the whiplash. And Gavin had one just in September. So he has got very limited movement with his neck at the moment. And he's just started getting his physiotherapy. But yes, so I do go through and explain how we've done stuff. Although, again, we've still made a couple of mistakes and had to undo things and do them back up again. But we kind of know what we're doing now. So if we didn't got another one, we'd be able to set it up a lot easier. So, yes. No, unfortunately, the only one I was actually able to access that was actually even in the country at the moment was down in Sydney. So there is a lady just around the corner. She sells them, but it takes 12 weeks for her to get them into the country. And we need one now. We don't need one in 12 weeks' time. And there's another guy that is just out of Gatton. He's got excellent quality small homes for sale that are a lot cheaper than this and a lot better made than this. And they get delivered to your property fully put together. All you need to do is plug in an electrical cord, plug in a hose, and you've got power and water. It's actually set up for caravan parks as well. So they're much better. But at the moment, he's having trouble getting his parts because they're all stuck at the dock down in Sydney. And even to get this brought up from Sydney was a bit of a nightmare. But at least they actually had ones in the country in Sydney. So that's a bit of that's a huge issue. So they didn't have an option for coming and setting it up for us at all. Gavin's really not impressed with the way the wiring's done. He is contemplating ripping it all out, but he's an electrician. So he's an industrial electrician. So he's a bit cluey, my husband. Yeah. He's going around doing stuff at the moment, so. But yeah, so we didn't have the option of getting somebody to do it. And we had 2 videos that we could watch. One was an animation and one was 6 guys putting it together. What I hadn't noticed in the 6 guys putting it together thing was they were actually they were in a shed and they actually had pulleys connected to the roof of the shed to lift the roof up. So they weren't having to try and figure out a way to prop up the roof. So yeah, I'm very disappointed on the instructions that we got with this. So I'm hoping to actually make a little bit of an instructional video type thing, but it's going to be good. I have great confidence that Gavin's going to be able to sort it out and it's going to work and it'll work well. But it's going to be a lot more work than I had hoped for. So yeah, anyway. Mine be sideways or be a chicken coop really quick. I would break it trying to fix the puzzle too. So yeah, it's honestly, this is like a jigsaw puzzle that we've been given the wrong picture for. And it's missing parts. So we're having to, and I mean, most of it's supposed to be put together with pop rivets, and the pop rivets didn't even come, and we weren't given any paperwork telling us what size pop rivets to get or anything like that. It's just that Gavin's really quite cluey on this sort of thing, and he is a tradesman. So he was able to work it out and what we needed to do. So hopefully it's all going to work. And at the moment, and he's working on siliconing it. I mean, we got like 40 tubes of silicon. I'm like, wow. Oh dear. Anyway, there's no room inside the walls for the electricals. So what would you do with it? There's a few things you can do. You can actually get it so that the conduit gets hidden inside the skirting boards. So you can get special skirting boards that have got the power points on them. I don't want that. And there is ways that you can work around putting things through the foam, the styrofoam. So I'm not really sure. I'm really not happy about this blue. And I've tried peeling it off a couple of times. It is well and truly stuck firmly in place. That I'm stuck with that. I like blue, but I don't like that blue. The bathroom's a bit of a funny thing. But yeah, have a watch of the video. It's kind of interesting. It'll be really interesting to see how this all looks once we're finished. So yes. Yeah, wrong picture to the wrong puzzle. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. And this shower is insane. I don't know why you would have such a fancy shower. It's got a radio in it. Like, I don't know why you'd have such a fancy shower in such a dodgy building. And the kitchen sink is really, really interesting. Really interesting. I'm still not quite sure how we're going to get water to the building. And I'm wanting to take the toilet out so that we can put a composting toilet in there, because I don't want to connect that up to the septic. It is a really fancy shower. Really fancy. I mean, I don't need anything that fancy. Actually, it was really funny. Gavin was going, I don't think I'm going to let the boys in that shower. He's worried they're going to break something. They probably would too. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be much better when we actually get it all sealed properly. As soon as you try to put it up, it will mess with the insulation and the skirting boards. Sounds better. Yeah. Better here, better inside the walls if you can. Yeah, it's a bit funny. Although all this extra styrofoam's been really good. I'm using it as insulation around the chicken incubator just to help keep it cool from the sun. So yeah, wrapped it all in plastic. But yeah, look at all these tubes of silicone we got given. Huge tubes, just a whole heap of tubes of silicone. This is ridiculous. And they got holes in the floor. So they got the kitchen sink so it's facing a wall. We don't want that. We want the kitchen sink at the window. So I'm pestering Gavin to try and figure out. But look at the sink. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's not, I mean, it's a stone bench. You would think if they were going to use a stone bench, they'd cut it nicely and not have it all jagged edges. And oh my goodness. I mean, I'm hoping Gavin can fix that. But I mean, it's not a big deal, but why would you have stone benches in something like this? I'm not sure why you wouldn't use a lighter material. And the cupboards they're cheap and nasty. They really are. But that being said, I actually think I have got, this was a caravan that I was looking at. Oh, it's gone on to another tab, sorry. This was a caravan that I was looking at to get secondhand, and it's $20,000. It's an 80-year-old caravan, like not 80-year-old, sorry, it's from the 80s. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't use a lighter material. It's nuts, absolutely nuts. It's really, really strange. So yeah, we were looking at this and as an option, because instead of, I mean, Mum had she didn't have a massive budget. I mean, she's 80. It's not like she's got money coming out of everywhere. But this caravan would have been $20,000. So in comparison to this, it's going to be a lot better. So I'm not ungrateful. I'm totally content that we're going to be able to make it work. A big mobile static home. It's a bit hard to say, but like this particular container house is this one was $26,900. I think coming out of China it's only 13, so I'm not sure what adds up the extra cost. But to buy a house that's this size, so it's 3 times the size of a caravan, so it's each of these are 20 foot long. So I think it's 37 square meters. If you look at the channel Living Big in a Tiny House, something this size is going to cost around $75,000 to $100,000. So 26,000, yeah, it's good. So we haven't finished building it. This video took us all day yesterday. So, and that was just getting the wall, figuring out how to actually get the walls and the ceiling and everything into place. I would imagine it'd be a lot cheaper for you to get it in Cyprus. So this one particularly came from China, and most of these expandable container houses do come from China, which is why I actually prefer the guy that's out of Gatton, because he actually custom makes them out here, and they're much, much better. Yeah, I did actually say, can you give me a discount for doing a review video? And he said, I'm going to give you the best price I can anyway. They're like, yeah. Now I know why. Although, in all fairness, he actually did upgrade us to the next model. So, because we actually got the floating floorboards in here, and that model's normally an extra $1,000, but he'd run out of the $26,000 ones. Ideally, like, he had some 18,900 ones which didn't have any walls and they just had the bathroom. Would have preferred that one, but he'd run out of stock. So a lot of the choice of this was because it was just not in the country. Oh yeah, Claire, it would be a lot cheaper over there, and part of that would be your dollar difference as well, because the pound is a lot better than the Aussie dollar. So it's, hello, gardening Perth, Western Australia. I'm going to be showing your video in a minute, I believe. Welcome. So yeah, it's, for what it is, I'm quite pleased with what we've got. I would have preferred to have been able to wait for a better option, but given our time constraints, this is a great option. So really pleased with that. And I'm going to have more videos coming out about this and what we've done to actually have to get it all set up and everything over the next few weeks as to how long it's going to take us to do. Because unfortunately, Gavin had this weekend to do it. But as of tomorrow morning, he starts work he has to get up at 2:30 a.m. to start work at 4, because there's a long travel time to get to work. And then he doesn't get home until 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. He's usually pretty knackered by then, but he's going to come home and do a couple of hours on the expandable container house each day. So it's going to be a bit full on for the next few weeks. But I will put out videos when I can with what we've done. So yes, but that's basically my weekly catch up. And now that we've got a few people in here, we might go over and have a look at doing the Shed Wars 22 update for the week, because we've had some interesting new videos added. So I've got a link on my channel, so on my main channel page, to a Shed Wars 22 playlist. Now, John and from Will It Grow and Robert from Homestead Aquarius will have their playlists as well. This is just the one that I've got on the videos that I've found. So if you've got a video made and I haven't got it on here, make sure you let me know. My email is janderra@outlook.com. And I will also put links on my Janderra website for it as well. So we come down here and we've got 2 new videos. And as Gardening in Perth, Western Australia has just come in, I'm actually going to play their video for you. So if I can scroll down, I'm having trouble arguing with my browser. Adjust the size a little bit so that I can see it. Oh, turn that sound on. I'll start that again. Actually, before I start that, I better put the link up for that. Sorry. I'd say talk amongst yourselves, but nobody else can talk, can they? Oh, sorry. I really do have a bit of an interesting sense of humour. Okay. Play on that again. Okay. Now, if you're wanting to come up onto my live stream, you need to chat in the actual chat so that I know who you are. Otherwise, I'm not going to be letting you onto the panel. I'm sorry. Not here, Dawn. The land here is a lot more than that. It's interesting. Don't pick on yourself. Other people pick on you enough. It's a good idea to grow what you eat. Growing kale was a bad idea. Nobody in the family wants to eat it. Oh, thank you. I'm careful on who I allow up on my stream though. Ah, papaya. Yeah. No, don't get embarrassed. We love to see you. That's great. Welcome to SHEDWARS22. Do we have a name we can call you by? Thanks, Dawn. See you, Dawn. Thanks for coming. Moringa. I'm trying to grow moringa. Curry leaves are very interesting. It's all good. Does that make it artificial intelligence? Your hair color's got nothing to do with your intelligence level. Absolutely nothing. Oh, you've got a mini aquaponics system. That's cool. Okay, you've got goldfish in there. It always makes me happy knowing that I've inspired people too. Is that Monsterio delicious? Oh, it's taro. Oh, it looks like taro. Yeah. Here it's 320,000. We have a very large mortgage. I'm not happy about it. But it's a lot small, like it's half the size that we had in Eagleby. I'm so glad we moved from Eagleby when we did. We would have lost the whole lot during the whole lockdowns last year. Where did cute puppy go? Yeah, my mum always says dogs and gardens don't go well together. I've actually noticed chickens are a bigger problem. Hi Andy, we have a new entry into SHEDWARS22. Gardening Perth, Western Australia. Where did I put the link? There's the link. Good to see you, Andy. That's really awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to have to check out some of the other stuff on your channel. And now, Andy from McNeil Manor has just come in as well, and he's put out a new Shed Wars video this week as well, which I haven't had a chance to watch. So we've got a new entry, and they're on Team Will It Grow from their hashtag, so I'm assuming that's correct. And then Andy put out a video as well.
Lush subtropical paradise. Overgrown.
Love it, his garden.
Blooming pigeon peas. But it wasn't so long ago, and trust me, it wasn't. G'day, folks. Andy here from McDowell Manor.
All about the food, huh? Yeah, you want to come up by all means, Andy. I should have the links there in the chat. Okay?
Looking, trust me, to pick a time to video when the cars all go by. But this is looking at the other side, from the other side into that patch. You see there's passion fruit on a trellis. There's a whole lot of bananas in the back.
Rabbit.
Big macadamia.
That sounds intriguing.
You certainly see the pigeon peas from here. I've got to do another harvest on them. All these, can you see all the tomatoes? Now they've all just come up wild. They're all volunteers.
We're going to run out of room for poultry. Wild.
Put some extra video footage up to show you what it was like before all of this. Let's have a look at the construction zone.
It pre-grows great veggies. Andy's garden's awesome. We do need a name to call you by, or do I just call you Gardening Perth?
What was the turnaround? Well,
Quails are small.
2 ingredients. And I hate to say it, but it wasn't quick until I hit the magic ingredient. We ploughed organics into this garden bed. I call it a building site because when they renovated the house, I reckon they threw all the rubbish in here and then just threw a bit of soil over top.
You definitely need to do an update on your quail.
We put
Teach us all how to grow quail.
Every time I used to mow the lawn, I'd throw the clippings all up here. It's been mulched for years on end. But what really broke the back of it was last year I started to fill it full of horse poo. And gee, it's turned it completely around. So there's my #1 tip for new gardeners. If you want success, you've really got to work on your soil. And the best way to get it really up to speed is if you hammer it with things like horse poo, chicken poo, cow poo.
Goat poo.
Really works a treat, and hopefully, looking at this
I've
garden,
been there for 13 years. Cool.
Will show you that it is achievable.
Hi, Tommy.
And it doesn't necessarily have to cost a fortune. Just a little bit of build up the organics. Get the horse poo in there. Bob's your
Good job, Andy.
Well,
it shows you worked it.
#1. Hopefully you might be tempted to hit the old subscribe button and follow along on the Shed Wars journey with us. And you have a good one, eh? Hooroo.
Andy's always got some fantastic videos. And that's basically the update for the Shed Wars 22 videos this week. So vetiver grass is a big help, is it? I've been planning to get a hold of some vetiver grass, actually. I've heard it can be a really good for the soil, but you can also use it as mulch and animal fodder too, I believe, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, so new entry into Shed Wars 22, as well as Andy's put out his an official Shed Wars gardening video. So yeah, that's about it. Although I think John did do something about a Marshall video, but I haven't watched it yet. He did a live on yesterday morning for us, but Friday nights for him. I think he usually does his video around 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings. So yes. Thank you very much, Stephen Carlson. That's really nice. I'm glad you enjoy my content.
Hey,
Hey,
y'all.
Eddie.
Hey.
Yeah, we got sound.
Yeah.
Now, Eddie, which team are you in again? Are you in Team Aquarius? No, you're in. No, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm
I'm hoping.
Aquarius.
Yeah, you're Aquarius. I'm pretty
Yep.
sure Gardening in Perth, the hashtags has them as Will It Grow? I'm Will It Grow.
Yeah, I'm spying on you.
You're
Secretly.
spying.
Secretly spying.
Secretly spying. Oh, it's good fun. Good fun, good fun, good fun. Now, what am I doing? I'll have to add Gardening in Perth to my list. There we go. That's the current team. Oh, we lost your picture.
Yeah, sorry
So you're
about that.
very good, Claire. Claire remembers all these things.
I had to scratch my nose and I didn't want people to watch me.
It's just me who's scratching all sorts of places. I probably should turn my camera off permanently. Mind you, I've got mosquitoes everywhere that are biting me. So,
Well, it's summer. Welcome to Australia.
yes. Although I did notice that during summer in America, Robert was scratching and had mosquitoes flying around as well. So I don't think it's just Australian.
Good. Good.
It's so good to be having the Shed Wars season start again.
The teams are a little smaller this year. Well, mind you, it's early.
Oh, no. Well, that's right. Because I didn't start Shed Wars 21 until December. The end of December.
I was the same, yep.
Yeah. So it's still very early in the season. And entries are open until the 1st of January. Wild says, you don't tell anyone you're a spy. Oh, dear.
No, but it's a secret amongst us guys. That's okay.
So you're secretly spying on me.
Yeah.
It's just I know about it.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be honest if I didn't tell you.
Well, that's right. Homestead Aquarius is awesome. Love Robert to bits. Hopefully he's asleep at the moment, though. Yes, mosquitoes the size of small airplanes.
Yeah.
Maybe exaggerating a little bit. Oh, dear.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Oh. That's funny.
We don't get cold enough. Oh, actually, no, we get cold enough for them to go away.
Yes, yeah, they calm down a little bit.
Yeah. I remember seeing a meme on Facebook that said, my favourite time of year is when the mozzies die.
And it gets cold enough to kill my fish, as I discovered the hard way.
Yes. The heat didn't kill mine. Mine got by snails. I've
still got some, so I'm happy with that. And I'll get some more come December, January.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to get a couple of firetail gudgeons or something just to keep the mosquitoes under control.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Even a goldfish.
Yeah. One goldfish. Otherwise I'll end up with hundreds of them.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, they're the pig of the of the fish world.
So Perth's going to send their crew over and hopefully they'll destroy your garden as much as they do theirs.
I can't teach my Rozzie to supervise the chickens. I keep saying, Rozzie, don't let them in the garden. You got to. So I've come up with a cunning plan, which is don't plant anything on that side of the yard underneath the fruit trees. Just let the fruit trees grow. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. Only plant chicken food.
Yes.
So Tom keeps thinking that Wild's an agent. She says she's no agent. So Claire's saying in the UK they get them in summer too now, but they never used to. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as climate change, Claire. Don't worry about it.
Oh, the climate's constantly changing. There's one thing you can guarantee in life, it's change. Yes, you guys are having winter at the moment. I'd love to send some of this heat and humidity to you. Oh, the humidity's shocking, isn't it? I think it's something like 76% humidity or something inside the house today. I think it was 86 outside. They have many garden bunnies to pass around for garden protection. Yeah, chickens are absolutely fantastic for finding things in your garden that you don't want them to find. They're like the goats.
If I could teach a chicken to dig in a straight line, I'd be a millionaire.
Oh, wouldn't it be awesome?
Yes,
I mean, you can't put them in a chicken tractor. You can put them in a mobile coop, and that's pretty good. But it's not quite a straight line. Yes, chickens and gardens do not mix.
I'd say you're looking forward to a bit of water tomorrow, Caroline?
Yeah, looks like we're going to get a fair bit.
I thought you might.
This week we're looking at we're going to be getting quite a bit of rain this week by the looks of it. Just when we've got an expandable container house that's not quite sealed.
Oh, dear. Well, what our overseas friends don't probably appreciate is you and I are not that far apart.
No.
But there's a lot of times where you'll get pouring rain or I'll get pouring rain and the other one gets nothing.
Yep.
So I meant to check with you to hear if you could see if you could hear my swearing without the telephone when I missed out on the rain.
Not quite.
It's a wonder.
Oh, there you go. Tammy's saying plant the chickens a mulberry tree for shade and food. It's a good idea. Good permaculture, that one. Claire prefers autumn. Autumn is a nice time of year.
It is here, yeah, where we are as well, because it's we actually get most produce in spring and autumn because it's not too hot. It's not, there's reasonable sun.
Yes. Yes, gardening in Perth, Western Australia. Apple Tree Urban Homestead is also a person from Perth, as is In Your Yard Homestead. And they were in Shed Wars 21. They're not doing Shed Wars this year. You get too many interesting things happening. Still recovering from the cyclone, I think.
Yeah, poor buggers.
Yeah, that was shocking. I mean, the eye of the cyclone went right over the top of Josh. So he really copped it. Geese are used as guard dogs here on farms. Yeah, I've heard geese can be if you've got one goose, it's a good plan. Otherwise, they get distracted. From what I've heard.
I want to get a guard goose.
You want a guard goose?
Yeah, anyone who's seen Aussie Man reviews.
No.
He's hilarious, but he's got a very, very bad mouth. He swears terribly. But he does stuff like he'll show this goose attacking like 10 different people, and he'll be going, Pecky, flap, flap. That's what I want. So when the collectors and people come to my door, I can set the guard goose loose.
I'm not sure how you'd go with a goose in suburbia. They can be a bit noisy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good.
I don't think it'd go down well.
No, that's why I don't have one.
Tammy, the container is coming along slowly. And unfortunately is not completely sealed yet. And my poor husband is working incredibly long hours for at least the next 13 days. But he's deluding himself into thinking he's going to be able to do a couple of hours of work on it when he gets home each day. And he might, but I'm not going to push him because he's getting up at like 2:30 in the morning and not getting home until 1:30 in the afternoon.
Is Gav a FIFO?
No,
not okay.
No, he works out at Stanbroke at the meat processing thing. He's a maintenance electrician.
Okay.
So he's a sparky, but he's
Yep.
an industrial sparky. But he works, so yeah, he gets up at 2:30 in the morning and has to be at work at 4. So it's about a half an hour drive. So he's got to give himself enough time to have breakfast and get himself awake enough to drive. So
that sounds like fun. Kinda.
not my favourite time of the morning.
No, me either. No.
And the worst part at the moment is because the 4 of us are living in the lounge room because we're having house problems. Feel free to watch my Roof Saga playlist to find out all about why. I'm having to try, like, even if I get the boys to be quiet by 7:30 at night and asleep, which I believe in miracles, but that one.
Yes.
I have a 4-year-old and a 12-year-old. The 12-year-old's pretty good. The 4-year-old, I'm thirsty. I need to go to the toilet. I'm cold. I'm hot. Can you read me a story? You forgot to pray for me. I need my toy. I lost my toy. Where's my blanket? I can't find my pillow.
And you've had such a run with that roof. It's unbelievable.
It's going to be great once it's fixed. I mean, the roof itself is fixed now. It's just everything else.
I hate to tell you, but if I was your insurance company, I'd get a big fat bulldozer, drive it right through that house, and rebuild you a completely wonderful new one, and they would save $100,000.
Potentially. I honestly don't know what's going to happen next. I really don't. I don't know. And I have no idea what I'm going to do if the insurance company goes, that's not covered under your policy. We're cash settling you.
Yeah, that's a bit scary.
That's got me nervous, which is the other reason why Mum decided to buy the expandable container house that we're renting off her. So it's hers, not ours.
Yeah, but it was a good idea.
Yeah. It just means that, I mean, because I was spending most of my week trying to figure out where we were going to live next week.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sure that I actually had the caravan paid for, because I had to coordinate getting the money from the renting the insurance to be able to pay for the caravan before somebody else went and hired the blessed thing.
Yeah.
And it was just creating too much stress.
It's only 10:30 here. It's not midnight.
No. Yeah, no, not midnight yet.
Yeah, Garon turns into a pumpkin at midnight.
I'm not sure what time is it in Perth? It's not midnight there. They're only like 6 o'clock or something, aren't they?
Almost midnight, apparently.
It shouldn't be. Should it? They're behind us, not ahead, aren't they?
Yeah, I would have thought so too.
8:30. They're only 2 hours behind us.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, so gardening Perth, they haven't understood that we don't need to turn our clocks back a few hours. We need to turn back 10 years.
I don't know. Palashade's trying to catch up on everybody. No, he won't go there. Anyway.
Oh, I do wish you'd stop with that. Let's ham up everybody who's chosen not to get the vaccination.
It's wrong.
And I'm a crazy vaxxer, as you well know, but just leave people alone. They made a decision based on what they think is the facts. Fair call.
Yeah. And I mean, and some people have health problems that they can't get it done. Either they've had the first one and they've had a really bad side effect and they're terrified to get it done.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, thankfully the PM is now coming out and going, hang on, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
So whether or not she listens or not, it's another matter. But,
Yeah, but don't start me on Scott.
oh, yeah, he has his own problems. But hey, he's a politician. His mouth's moving.
Well, I'm on the I'm a bit worried about the climate change thing, so I kind of don't have a lot of time for Scott.
So Claire's got 3 boys, and they're all grown up now. Only one at home. Whereas I've got one that's left home, and that's a girl. And I got the 2 boys at home. Trying to get those boys into bed though, so that poor Gavin can get to sleep. If he gets to sleep at 7:30, he'll then have 7.5 hours sleep. That's assuming a cat doesn't jump on him, a boy doesn't jump on him, or some other disaster doesn't happen in the middle of the night. The poor thing, he's really starting to look quite weary.
Poor bugger.
Oh, I really feel for him. And I'm trying to make life as simple as possible, but it's just not quite working.
Well, you'll be happy to know after multiple marriages, I've ended up with 5 kids. only two of whom I actually produced, but that's okay. And my joke is, I can get rid of ex-wives, but I can't get rid of any of the kids. Which I take as I think that's a very positive sign.
It is. I don't know where the buttons that had not to annoy you where the buttons buttered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
That's right. I'll be back in a second.
Cool.
It's time for a refill.
Yeah, nothing to do with gardening. Gardening is incredibly important and an important part of making sure that you're prepared for whatever is going to happen. And something that we really need to make sure that we do. That's a very interesting hole in my desk. Again, nothing to do with gardening. And while you got one boy at home, he's an adult, and one adult boy at your dad's helping him. Cool. And gardening in the Perth, you just had my second 2 days ago. That was my choice. Excellent. And that's the most important thing, that it is actually your choice. Only 5 out of, how many marriages was that, Andy? I think he's on his 4th marriage or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I can't keep track. I keep telling him the first wife is the cheapest one. You've had 2, but health issues have worsened a lot. Yeah, it makes it difficult. When you have, and now they're trying to get people to have 3. I've got friends that are absolutely pro-vaxxers all the way, and they really hammer anyone that even suggests that people need to be informed about things. They've just had their 2nd dose and they have had some shocking side effects, and they're not interested in having a 3rd one. You had 5 kids, all firstborn. So 5 different mums? First wife is the cheapest. But hey, I mean, everybody's got some really interesting stories, and it's really good to get to know everybody. That's one thing I really love about doing these lives, is actually getting to know the people that watch my channel and getting to know my community and getting to be a part of my community. So yes. He didn't divorce his kids, just the ex, is what I always say. That's lovely, Tammy. It's really unusual to find a couple these days that they've only been married the once. Yes, I'm on my second marriage. However, Gavin, I'm his first girlfriend, let alone wife. So he is unique, and I'm very blessed to have him. And it's really important that the kids don't get torn apart when there are broken marriages. My ex-husband actually passed away just after Gavin and I got married. So I don't have the big drama of trying to manage the whole blended family thing. Although Crystal was 13 when Gavin and I got married. So yes. Your sons have different dads. But Mike is the dad that matters. Absolutely. The one that's there is the one that matters. The one that imparts life and wisdom and identity into kids is the one that's really important. And fathers are so, so important. I don't think they realize just how much of an impact they have on kids.
I do.
So, Andy, I think it's awesome that you've got 5 kids that think you're awesome.
Thank you.
There's a lot as a dad that you can impart into them and can help prevent them going down some really destructive paths.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing that's been really interesting for me is 4 out of 5. Well, I raised 3 from Littleys.
Yep.
And they were all boys.
Ah.
And now I'm an old codger. I've actually got grandkids, and the first of whom is a girl. And I'm really finding that very interesting. So I'm finding myself very often, she's a shy little girl, and I'm very often finding myself say to her, honey, you can be the boss of your shy. You can do anything at all. You just need to practice. And the amount of times I've been saying it, I caught myself doing it again today. I thought, I think this is a great message for this kid.
Yeah. I mean, they really need to have that identity spoken into them. And a lot of times they don't get an opportunity, especially if they are shy and reserved, to have somebody encourage them to come out of their shell. So yes. Anyway, Gardening in Perth has just asked if we are all Aussies, and no, I think there are only 2 of us here. Well, no. Wild Edibles is in Canada. Wisteria Energy Twister is from the UK. That's Claire. Rebel Canners is Tammy. She's from America.
Yep.
Who else is in here? Wild Edibles and Mike the Caveman are the same person. If Mike the Caveman Savage comes in, that's Wild's partner.
I didn't know that.
Yes. If it's Mike the Caveman, it's not actually Mike. It's Wild.
Oh, okay.
If it's Mike the Caveman Savage, then it's Mike.
Right.
How big is his glass? Are we talking about Andy's glass? You'll need to refill that soon.
It's not that big. Because, well, see, the way I go, if I had a big glass, I'd only be able to drink 1 a night. But this way, with a little tiny glass, I can drink 436. And it's still the same amount.
I'm not quite sure on the logic there. It depends on how big that glass is.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's hard, Claire. That's really hard. And I agree, it's really nice that you can teach her, Andy. And there's so much that a father can impart into a child. I mean, all the things you wish your dad had taught you if he didn't teach you.
Mine
and if he did teach you, all the stuff he did teach you.
Well, I like it because, like, they come and they play with the chickens and the quails, and they feed the fish, and they actually know where tomatoes come from and blueberries and everything. It's great. It's fantastic.
Janderra the informant. I ain't informant, am I?
I'm wondering
I
who
might
she's
become a
informing
spy in
to.
your garden, Andy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm probably the informant, not you. I'm not quite sure who I'd inform to, but
I don't know. So little chick has Mike's phone and had set up on 2 channels because of password issues. There you go. Wild Edibles has a little quail chick, and it was the only one that hatched. And it is as noisy as anything unless she's playing one of my videos or one of Homestead Aquarius's videos.
That's Monkey.
Yeah. It goes completely quiet when one of our videos is on.
Oh, I'm not. Feel free to say no, Carolyn.
Yeah.
But if people want a 1 or 2 minute summary of keeping quail, I'm happy to give it now.
Yeah, by all means. I might have to try and find one of your quail videos.
They are the easiest bird in the history of man to keep. Oh, I was going to say that sounds like lift music in the background there. You forgot to kill your volume.
I did. I've muted it now.
So they're really easy to keep. And in fact, they don't need much vertical space. They don't need a lot of horizontal space. And if you were to buy 3 girls and 4 girls, they would keep you in eggs. And there's a little pair of scissors. That's my scissors impression. That looks like a cigar cutter. So it's a round hole on one end and a blade on the other. You put the quail egg in, you go snip and tip it in the pan. You will be as happy can be. The only complexity of dealing with the quails is if you're crazy enough like me and you just decide to breed them, then it gets a little more complicated. And I hope Wild can see there's quite a range of varieties that I've got. I've got the cinnamons, I've got the whites, I've got the dark brown ones. I think tuxedos, that's what they are. And I've got the normal ones, which I think are what we call the Italians. Now, because you would be gardening, Perth, most places don't count them as fowl. They count them as birds. So if you can keep budgies, we'll be able to keep them too. So that's my boy cage, I believe, that you see. Yes, it is, that you're seeing at the moment.
And you can get away with boys too, can't you? Because they're not noisy.
Well, they kind of are. Not really, but kind of. So they make a noise like prrrr, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can hear it from the front of the house. It wakes me up.
It doesn't bother your neighbours?
Now, no, I don't think they know what it is.
That works.
Yeah, I think they think it's just some bird outside. If I didn't breed them, I wouldn't be caught with all those males, and so it wouldn't be an issue. But if you get males, you need to deal with it because they are nasty, nasty little boys, and they kill each other. And there you go. There's a scalped quail.
That's sad.
And that's where Yeah, one of that one recovered really well,
Oh,
and they normally do, but it's ugly. So the males, I knock them over and I eat them.
hmm
Now people probably think, well, that's really cruel, but I could knock them over and throw them in the bin, but that's pretty stupid.
Well, yes, it would
So I
be.
don't.
You could at least turn them into
Yes,
compost.
yep. So I eat them, and a lot of the bits as I'm processing the boy quails, um, all goes in the compost, of course. But yeah, if you just kept 4 girls for eggs, it's as easy as it's the easy, and you can see the size of the cage. That cage is about 1 meter long, and probably, I don't know, not maybe a little more than half a meter wide. Easy fit 4 birds in there, no problem at all. And all you got to do is you feed them and water them twice a day,
hmm
because they have an amazing capacity to be able to poo in their water. I haven't quite worked it out how they manage to point their bottoms into the water bowls, but they do it with complete skill.
Those eggs look very small.
They are tiny, 4 quail eggs to 1 chicken egg.
Okay.
So that's why it becomes important. I used to sit there with a serrated knife, and each
hmm
egg I'd be going rub, 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 and eventually I could crack it. Well, there's no sense in that. So when you can just go snip, paw, snip, paw, snip, paw, it's gold.
hmm
They come into their own. So my guys are jumbos, which are exactly the same wild as the Japanese, the normal Japs,
hmm
but they're a bigger bird. So they're about a quarter bigger than the normal Japanese quail. And I did that because I knew I was going to have to process the males.
Yep.
Look at
Got to
that poor
compost
little.
the enemies.
The good news is that's a she, and she got better.
Yeah, she doesn't look very happy there.
Oh no, she was very unhappy. And when you've got particularly with the boy quails, if you've got 2 together and they fight, take out the aggressor. Don't take out. Well, normally I take out the injured bird, because if they can see blood, they'll fight to the death. Yes,
hmm
but you always put, when the injured bird gets better, put it in first, and that way when the second rooster goes back in, um, they really they're at the bottom of the pecking order, so they don't tend to cause trouble.
Yep. So rabbit males will do that too.
Yep.
Apparently. Roosters generally, if they've grown up together, are pretty much okay. They've usually figured out who the top rooster is.
Oh, quails are pretty dumb. I think they're even stupider than chickens.
Are they as stupid as guinea fowl?
Yeah, chickens have actually got personality. Quails have got nothing. Nothing.
They grow quick.
They do. Yeah, I can process a male quail in 6 weeks.
See if I can find another video.
I was wondering what you're doing.
Chicken.
Oh, that was
Chicken.
that was a sad. So that gold chicken, that's
Mhm.
Buffy. She's a Buffer Orpington. She turned out to be the biggest chook in the history of man. The other one was a bird I called Megan. Where was Megan? The Duchess of. That was a spangled York. I think that was something like that. She was a spangled wherever Megan was the Duchess of. Now, believe it or not, that bird died. It did not thrive. So that video you're seeing was when I just got them. Yeah, and I was very, very I paid a fortune. I won't name the place. Sussex, that's it. Thank you, Rebel. I won't name the place I got it from, but it's a big name place in Australia. And I'm not getting good feedback from most of my friends that keep chickens. They buy them, and a lot of them die.
That's sad. Is that paper towel or a cloth?
That's paper towel.
Paper towel?
Yeah, that
How
was.
come you got the paper towel?
I was trying to hold the humidity. My cheap Charlie. This might strike a chord, Geraldine. My cheap Charlie incubator kept losing humidity really quickly. So I found if I put the paper towel in, it seemed to work a treat. It held the water better.
Okay.
But they're terribly cute. They really are gorgeous little birds. The other trick is, as you can see there, if you don't put... I now use paper towel, and then on top of that I shove a heap of straw. If those little babies, if their legs slip too much in the bottom of the brooder, they will do a tendon, and that's the end of them. You've got to kill them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's a very sad set of circumstances. Not happy, Jan.
So you got to have the wood chips there.
Yeah, they've got it. Yeah, they need stuff so their little claws can grip.
Okay.
Now that was Big Bertha. She was a barred Plymouth Rock. I lost her, but she must have been 14 years old when I lost her, you know.
That's a good age for a chicken.
Oh, yeah, she was an old chook. And she was very cool. They are very cute when they hatch. Well, chickens and quails, quite honestly.
Baby animals.
See the bald patch on the back of that bird's head? That's what happens when the males grab them by the back of the head and jump on, and that's what causes that loss of feathers. You don't want too many boys. Boys are not nice. If you're a boy at my house, you know your days are numbered.
So Wild's got a rubber slip grip stuff that works well. And Tammy's saying to be careful of the wood chips, the wood shavings, because they can eat it and die.
Yes. Now, I've lost a bird. I've lost quails. You have to put... I put little pebbles in the bottom of the waterers for the baby quails, because the silly buggers, they walk up to the water, fall asleep while they're standing there and drown. But if you put pebbles in, it's bizarre. If you put pebbles in, they're likely to survive. I've had the drowning, I've had the slip tendons, but I've not had an issue with the eating the wood chip stuff. And what you can see in the bottom there is a lot finer than I use with the babies. You need to make sure it's reasonably a little bit bigger than that.
So while saying they nip at the wood shavings, but doesn't grit help, and that's so that they can eat it and break it down. Okay, so you're saying they've got to have the grit.
Yeah, but not Wild, not.
There's a male doing his thing.
Yep, that's him. See, he's got it by the back of the neck.
That's what roosters do to chickens too.
Yeah.
My daughter nearly had a conniption when she saw a rooster doing his thing the first one. She ran up to it and was like, oh, what is he doing? And she was about to start a chicken liberation movement.
I had a friend tell me that happened to be a female. Her daughter watched her the first time she milked a cow.
Mm-hmm.
And the daughter was only about 12. That's a gecko. The daughter was only about 12. And she looked at her mother and said, oh, my goodness, it's a bodily fluid. Yep.
Yeah.
Geez, I laughed.
And if you want to be even more grossed out, if they don't have another calcium, it turns red because it's a product made from blood.
Yep. It did make me giggle.
But I mean, honestly, a lot of kids don't know where milk comes from.
It shows how far divorced from the food chain we really have become. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know,
People don't know what food is.
Eggs don't come from aisle 13. They come out of a chook's bottom.
Yes.
You know, fish don't grow up in the freezer aisle. They actually come out the water. You got to catch them and kill them.
Actually, that's interesting you say that because with guinea pigs, if you've got two males together, they're fine. Unless one of those males has been with a female.
Yeah.
Then they will go to the death.
Yeah. So I've got 4 boys.
It's kind of interesting, that one.
I've got 4 boys in my top cage at the moment. I had 9. 5 went to freezer camp, but the other 4 seem to get on great.
Okay, Tammy, is it wood chips or wood shavings? So, because she says she has baby quails, they don't break down the wood chips. She lost a few before she realised it was the wood chips that was causing the problem.
Yeah, might need a definition here.
Yeah, are they wood chips or wood shavings? These are slightly different. Well, it is a very different product. Shavings. Yes, wood shavings.
Okay, yep.
You look like you had a fair bit of straw in the cages, actually.
I did, but that's the adults.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't do that with babies. Although, mind you, I'm surprised. I would have thought shavings, like I try to avoid sugarcane mulch in the brooder. I'm surprised they eat shavings.
Baby chicks will too, apparently.
So
although I've
I'm
always
lucky.
had wood shavings in the bottom of mine.
I would say to people, don't let your quails out like I do. I'm really lucky, and you can see that one in the middle. It looks like a turkey.
That
It's
one?
completely bald. It's completely bald. The poor bugger. Right near the white one now. Poor thing. I forgot where I was going with that.
You're lucky you're able to free range yours.
Oh yeah, don't free range in a normal yard. I'm cut into a slope. My backyard is where you're looking at is cut into a slope. So the lowest point of the fence is about 7 foot, and even then, I've had one go over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, they can fly. They go straight up.
Like the guinea fowl.
Yeah, there's Turkey. Almost. Yeah, he's in the middle of the screen again. God bless you, son.
Is it feisty?
Poor ugly thing. I tend to feed my quails on chick starter. Now, the only thing that, because it's easy for them to eat, but the only thing that worries me a bit about that is sometimes it's medicated, so you've actually got to have a little bit of a look at the bag.
I thought they were all medicated.
No, they're not all. Some aren't. And all they do, you know, the chicken pellets that you get for your layers,
Yeah.
it's just some of them just grind that up. Well, that's what I want. The other trouble, apparently, if I wanted to get technical, but I don't worry, is it's a little bit high in protein, so your birds will get fat.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You know, if my birds are a little bit plump, I don't mind.
No, well, that's just going to create extra flavour, isn't it? Although I guess they're not looking at it from the perspective of eating them.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They're looking from a health perspective.
I sound like a carnivore.
Well, it is what it is.
Well, it is. It's not something I'm really good at, unfortunately.
Can you see my repurposed doghouse out there in the background there that became the chicken coop?
That's a good idea.
Well, I had 2 huskies, and they had a big house, and so I thought I'm not going to waste that. So I turned it into a chicken coop. On the side, I added the nesting box, and I actually made it so the top comes up, but also the whole thing swings out sideways. I hinged it so it swings sideways to get into the coop easy. I don't even need to go into the chicken yard if I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, Walt. Yep, perfect. That's what I do with the quails.
Yeah, I'm still looking at sourcing a whole heap of that sort of stuff out here.
Well, even the medicated stuff with the baby quails isn't such...
He's in the wrong team.
It's not such a bad thing because they're babies, you know. I wouldn't do it with adults, but it's not so bad with the baby. I wonder what chook that is.
There's your aquaponics too.
Oh yeah, there you go. And that's a concrete fish that you see on the front there.
Yep.
That's my aquaponics sign. I'm a little bit kitsch. I don't know I ever said that, but I am. Oh, that was Ninja. That black chook was a chicken. Sorry, America. That was a chook I called a chicken. I called it Ninja. And the reason I called it Ninja was I had this 3-meter python that got into the chicken yard there that you can see. And I was closing the door in the dark and suddenly looked up and had this snake looking me right in the face.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. So I quietly backed away, and then I realised, I've got to go back and shut the door. Otherwise, the snake's going to kill my chooks.
Yes.
So I very bravely, because I'm phobic about snakes, I very bravely went back, latched the door, and then backed out and started to yell out, Rosie, Rosie, which is my partner, can we ring a snake man? So the snake man came. It was 10. Well, using American talk, it was 10 foot long. It was over 3 meters. It was a whopper. Yeah, it was impressive. Well, that stuck in my head, didn't it? So about a week later, I got this little black. Can't remember what the brand of the chicken was. It was something like an Arakan. Australorp. But I brought her home. I put her in, and I went out. I thought, now I put her in late at night. I thought, here we go. Do it late at night, and they'll go in together. They sleep together. Next morning, they're all friends. So I did exactly that. I put her in the coop, the big coop. I waited till dark, And then I was going out to latch the door to lock them all in.
Mhm.
Well, I got about one step in and a bloody big snake fell on my back. And so I dropped on the ground and squealed like a girl, as you can imagine.
As you do.
Yeah. But it wasn't a snake. It was the black chook. She'd been sitting on top of the gate and I didn't see her in the dark. So I said to my wife, holy mackerel, she's like a ninja. So that became a name, Ninja.
And Gardening in Perth says, aren't all chickens ninjas?
You might be right, gardening.
And Rebel's got, she did a turkey starter and smashed it up too.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I think.
My incubator like that one was pretty good. My only problem was I left the base of it out in the sun too much and the plastic went all brittle.
Yeah. Well, that one's lost its day counter now. So I think it's up to about day 198, which I really don't care about. But, you know, oh, that's an old video. See, I wouldn't do that anymore. That's not sufficient grip room for their feet. So you need to put something on top of that newspaper. And you'll notice later what I started to do was tear that all up. So it was a whole lot of torn up shreds that were on the bottom. So they always had grip.
Aha. Claire's quietly watching in the background.
You can see how they've got the little beads that's beads from aquaponics in the water.
Yes.
That's to stop the silly buggers stop them drowning.
They're clay balls from the aquaponics.
Yes. Just
they are
anything.
Very small birds.
Oh, tiny, tiny. About the size of your thumb. Well, my thumb, and I've got small hands.
Wow. I've got, just chick starter mealworms for the chicks, and I can watch its feathers grown.
Yeah, gardening. I squeal like a girl on a regular occasion.
He's got it worse than the cockroach.
And I don't mind. Like if it's a snake, I'm not happy. Not happy, Jan. Oh, that's an old cage. I got rid of that cage. That was the
all
first
I did
cage.
was go to your channel and type in quails.
That's the first cage I ever built.
Quail.
But you can see the size. It's not real big.
No.
They don't need a lot of room. In fact, if you make it too high, they get scared, they jump up and they break their necks.
Ah.
So yeah, don't make it too high. Oh no, they're dumb. Oh, look at that little one. That must have been the first one of that breeding run. And I always sprinkle, you can see the chick starter sprinkled on the ground.
Yep.
Don't rely on your quails to be smart enough to actually find a food dish.
Ah.
They're not. Now, the one in the corner there will be asleep, not dead. Yep, that one.
The number of times I've hatched chicks and my mum's thought that they were dead because they were sleeping.
Oh,
they just look dead.
Yeah,
they just kind of they sprawl out to the point where they really look dead.
And breeding quails is really a fine art, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really committed. Just get 4 girls, keep them in a cage. You've got sufficient eggs that you'll be laughing.
You clearly don't put quails in your titles very often.
No, I probably don't. Well, there's a couple of videos you do, and after that, like, you kind of wonder what's to see.
Yeah, but the problem is all of the videos are really old, and you're doing new stuff now.
Yeah, I'll have to do an update, won't I?
Like you got a quail tractor. But that's from like 5 years ago.
And I don't have that quail tractor anymore. That was one of the very first versions that bit the dust.
So what did you not like about this?
Oh, I went 3-level because what I wanted to do was have I wanted 3 cages.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy if you. So what I did was I made a. If you look, Geraldine, there's a video called something like Quailtopia, where I make the 3-level quail house, and I put slide out drawers in the bottom of each level, so that way they don't poop on the level below, and I
Mm-hmm.
can just pull the drawers out and easily tip them into the compost bins, and it makes life really easy. Gardening Perth, every time I see you put something up, I think it's Gardening Australia. And I keep thinking, wow, we've got really famous all of a sudden.
That would be exciting.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Yeah,
I'd
that's
get excited if Rob Bob dropped in.
I like Rob.
Rob's awesome.
I've
Okay,
actually
how
had
do you
him
spell Quailtopia?
Quailtopia.
Yeah, I put it in. It's not coming up.
Oh, bugger. Let me see if I can find it. So just ignore me for
How
a
long
minute.
ago was it?
Fair while. Okay, so I'm off the live, so I can't see anybody. Bump. Your channel? Oh, I gather you can't hear me either, can you?
No, I can hear you still.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Yep, can still hear you.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. I'll be in my playlist. Here we go. Blah, 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 blah. SHEDWARS, particular plants, Australian native bees. Oh, that's good. I love my bees. And they don't bite. Well, they do bite, but they don't sting. Here we go. Backyard chickens. Shut up. Okay. Quailtropolis.
Quailtropolis. See,
There
that's
you
different
go.
from a Quailtopia.
I know. Do you want me to give you a link?
Might need you to. See if I can spell it right. No, can't find it.
Here we go. I'll put it up. Copy.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to get away with doing that. Might have to.
I was going to say, how the heck do I do that?
I think I've got it so that you can't put links up. So I'll see if I can, because I don't think I've got you as a mod yet, do I?
No. Oh, I'm not. I wouldn't put me as a mod. I'm not trustworthy.
Shocking. Shocking, Andy. Shocking. You would make a dreadful spy.
Oh, I know.
Dreadful.
Well, hang on. I'll go back onto YouTube and see if I can get away with it in the comments bit. Oh, shut up, Andy. Sorry about the echo. No, I can't.
Yes, I didn't. If you can comment something, I should be able to make you a moderator. Just type in hello or something.
Can you hear me?
Because I can't find you to be able to put you in as a mod.
There we Okay, bear with me. Technical challenge here. Yeah, I can't even spell it. Okay. QUAILTOPIA. Quailtopia. I am
I
but a
think
simple
it's
lad.
propolis.
Oh, that's.
Andy,
I'm not real smart, am I?
you're as bad as the quail.
All right. Okay. You ready?
Okay, that was a bit nasty. Sorry.
No, it wasn't. It's all good. Gerald, go to my channel.
Yep.
There's a playlist called Chickens and Quails.
Ah, now that's easier.
And if you go down a bit, you find it.
I gotta find them yet. Hang on. Baby chicken. Home distilling.
You in the playlist?
Yeah, I'm looking. It's just being a bit difficult. Doesn't.
That's
I know
'cause you
with
live
my
in,
channel, I can't always see all of my playlists.
that's because you live in the boonies.
And it's not coming up. How about you spell Quailtropolis?
All right, get ready. I'm going back to my channel so I can do that because that's a bit tricky. Your channel.
You should put some extra tags on there, Andy. I'll put quail in the title.
I think I will from now on. Where are we going? Camping? No, it's not camping. Come on. Backyard chickens. There we go. That's what it is. About chickens. Quail. Shut up. Quail. Lysol malts. Japanese quail. Update on the quail.
Is it in the Backyard Chickens playlist?
Yes.
I see I can find the Backyard Chickens playlist.
Okay. QUAIL.
Oh, that'd be right. Now I've gone out of that spot. Hang on. Patience. Mind you, everybody on the live can't see at all what I'm doing. That QUAIL
TROPOLIS.
Oh, there we go. The really sad part is I am my IT support.
Yeah, move it over. What you'll see is it's over.
That's not Quailtropolis.
No, that's Rosie.
Yes. Here we go. I'll skip forward a bit. Probably would have made more sense if I had the sound on.
Ah, here we go.
Now, Wild saying is 40 centimetres tall enough.
Yes, absolutely.
Check back on the comments. Where are we up to?
It's absolutely tall enough. So you can see what I've done there is make 3 shelves.
Mm-hmm.
I put a solid. Well, at that stage, for some reason, I thought I'd put a solid bottom on them, but yes, I did actually. I did put a solid bottom, and then what I did was I put plastic over top of the bottom, and so it's an easier clean out because I just pull that plastic out. Well, I pull all the substrate out first, then I pull the plastic out, give it a quick hose, let it dry in the sun, and put it back in. And feel free to move it forward, Gil, and people will see I actually put a drawer underneath, which also makes it really easy for anything that slips through to be collected. On top, I put a roof because they don't need to be exposed to the sun. So what you're seeing there is that where they live is a drawer, in fact. I put 2 handles on the front of the drawer, and so it just slides on out.
Oh, so it's not a very deep drawer, is it?
No, doesn't need to be.
Oh,
And there's plastic on top of the bottom of that drawer. There you go.
yep. Failed as a spy and failed as a mod.
Yeah, that's me. And you can see the roof.
But 6 of us are happy to be here. You never know who's going to turn up for a live. Lots of people drop in and out.
I made the roof out of marine ply.
Okay.
And then I put a, well, here you go. Rosie's putting the cover on. So that's, we call it lino. It's vinyl tiles in America.
Easy to clean, says Wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's got cooking trays to put under the mesh, so it falls through the cooking onto the cooking tray.
The reason I don't like mesh is because it can play up at their feet.
Ah.
So the reason the sides are covered in like they are, and I've cut little windows in, is the sun comes where the solid sides are. So that keeps the worst of the sun off them. They still get plenty of light, but no sun, no direct sun. And underneath is where I store the quail food, as you can see.
So why do you not want the direct sun?
They'll die. They're pretty frail.
From direct sun?
Oh, yeah, if they get too hot, they'll croak.
Oh, okay. So you just got to make sure they don't get too hot.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night, love.
Who are you talking to?
Night, Rosie.
Garrowin says, night, Rosie.
Who?
I'm on YouTube.
Oh.
She's run away. She's worried you can see her in her pajamas.
No, it's all good. Can't see you.
Yeah. Poor Rosie. She puts up with so much, It's incredible.
Well, she's very patient with you being on YouTube a lot.
She is. She absolutely is. So, yeah, there's all sorts of crazy chicken things there.
He must go back a while.
Oh, I go back a long while.
2016.
What I always do, I think I probably started about 2013. What I always do is if I make a mistake, I'll actually do a video about it so people get to see the mistake, because you learn a hell of a lot more from a mistake than something that just goes perfectly well.
Gardening in person, you don't want to teach them to fly when you have to catch dinner.
It's true. Oh, yeah, they can fly.
Wild likes the solid floors for the bunnies. Your About page says that you started in 2010.
There you go.
Just as a little bit of trivia.
And I did promise at the time when I started that I would show people. Oh, look at that one. That's the storing eggs outside the refrigerator where I kept chicken eggs in a cupboard for 12 months. And they were still as good as new nearly.
Really?
Yeah, water bathing. I wanted to try it. I didn't now. Good thing she's gone to bed. I didn't want to tell. I didn't want to say anything. So I did this experiment, which I thought I was on pretty safe ground, where I water bathed a whole lot of eggs. I kept them for 12 months. I ate one, and then I waited for 24 hours. I didn't die. So then I thought,
That's
you
a good
idiot.
thing to know.
Yeah, I thought that worked. So I did a whole batch. Like, I took them all out and I fed them to my wife and my daughter. And when they ate them, I said, oh, how was the eggs? Yeah, good. Didn't notice anything? What do you mean? They're 12 months old and they weren't kept in the fridge. Well, didn't they have a cow? Holy guacamole.
So you use the hydrated lime.
Yep, I'm still living it down. My name was Mud.
I can imagine it would have been.
Oh, yeah, they weren't happy. Not happy at all.
I've seen a few people using the hydrated lime.
It works a treat. But I did it for a whole 12 months.
Hey, Canarum. Lovely to see you here. We're probably going to need to look at going to bed soon, I think. It's nearly 12 o'clock.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I better tuck Rosie in and the two boy dogs. Otherwise, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining me and for giving us a lovely education on quails. But
My
you'll
pleasure.
have to do a video.
Yes,
You'll
I
have to
will.
get a video done soon, going
An
through
update.
the whole quail thing.
Quail update.
Yes. This looks very interesting. Might have to come back and watch this one later.
Well, I think you'll use it. It actually works really well. What I
I
didn't
know
know,
it does.
what I didn't know then was you've got to check and top the water up.
Yep.
So I actually left it go for 12 months without checking, without topping the water up.
Mm-hmm.
So my yolks went a bit sort of spread.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to top the water up, that was the issue. They would have been fine. Now, they were still perfectly edible, just they didn't hold solid.
Aha. That is very good to know. I will definitely have to finish watching this later with the sound on. Yes.
All right, y'all.
Make sure you check out Andy's channel.
Oh, you're too kind.
Check out the video on the...
You ready for my American? All right, Noel. Good night now. You hear?
and make sure you go over to Gardening Perth, Western Australia, and check out their entry video for Shed Wars 22, and check out Andy's new Shed Wars 22 video. And we'll catch you all in the comments and see you next week. Bless you.
Hooray.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
See you later. Night all.